Hey cookie creators and lovers alike, I'm Gabby. The spooky day will be here before you know it, so today on the Cool Cookie Show, we're making some haunted Halloween cookies. For my bat, I'm going to start by flooding the entire surface black, and I'll drop in some candy eyeballs before it dries. For my piping consistency icing, I'll be using a number 1 Ateco tip, and for my 15-second consistency flooding icing, I'll also be using a number 1 Ateco tip. Now we'll let this layer dry for about 6 to 12 hours before we go in and give them some fangs. This guy's all done and ready to get a little batty. For my haunted mansion, I'm going to start with its mossy green. For my piping consistency icing, I'll be using a number 1 Ateco tip, and for my 15-second consistency flooding icing, I'll be using a number 2 Wilton tip. Before I start flooding, I'm going to do a thin layer of piping consistency icing and smooth it with a smoothing knife in order to get the effect for my different color windows. Now we'll let these sections dry for about 20 minutes to an hour before we go in and do more flooding. Now we'll let the roof dry for 20 minutes to an hour before we keep going with more flooding. Now we'll let these layers dry for 6 to 12 hours before we go in and add a little bit more flooding and finalize its piping. Now I'll finish off my haunted mansion by adding some candy bats. This haunted house is all done and ready to host some creepy tenants. For my ghost, I'm going to start by flooding the entire surface of the cookie in white. Then I'll go ahead and drop in some black flooding icing for his mouth. And to finish it all off, I'll give him some kooky eyeball candies. This little ghost is ready to get haunting. Thanks for tuning in to this week's episode of The Cool Cookie Show. If you like this episode, give it a big thumbs up. Want to be a part of the creativity? Let me know what characters and shapes you'd like to see in the comments below. For more of my cookie creations, check out my channel, tune in every Tuesday, and don't forget to subscribe. Till next time, stay sweet!